Hello, welcome to my channel. I am the Recipe Rater, where I rate other people's recipes to let you know if they're any good or not. So, I have some leftover pineapple, and I thought, what better way to use up this pineapple than to bust out my handy-dandy Cooking with Kenny Rogers cookbook. That's right, this is the Dole Presents the Cooking with Kenny Rogers cookbook. If you want more of a deep dive on what this thing's all about, let me know in the comments section, and I may do a separate video on that. But in the meantime, of all the recipes that I looked up, I felt the safest option for feeding my family tonight was it's technically sweet and sour pork that he has in the cookbook, but I have chicken, so we're going to do sweet and sour chicken tonight. This is just some of the things that I will be cutting up and getting ready for your viewing pleasure. Let's get started. So I will copy the recipe from the cookbook in the description if you're interested. Otherwise, be sure to check it out on your eBay or whatever books are sold, the Kenny Rogers cookbook I've got. So this is half a cup of cornstarch. I'm also going to do a 2 tablespoons of this white vinegar and soy sauce. And I have 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. That will be the basis of the marinade that we'll be doing for the chicken. Now, it's important you get nice chunks like that. Let's see. Nice bite-sized pieces. Especially because I have a 1-year-old as one of my children, and so she is definitely going to need some smaller chunks. But I don't want it to be too small because I'm also feeding my wife and son. So while that's marinating, I am going to get the rest of the vegetables chopped. It says green pepper, but I feel like red pepper is going to be sweeter, and it's going to give a good flavor with the sweet and sour kind of element to it. That and just a nice bright color between that and the green carrots. It did not say anything about peeling the carrots, so I am not going to peel them. I think that'll be fine. Interestingly enough, everything's going to marinate vegetables with the pineapple and certain other condiments I'll get into in a minute. He said about a cup of carrots. So maybe like 2 carrots if I were to take a guess. He says to have it smoking slightly. So that's what we're gonna do. This is my baby, my wok. I've had this since high school. This is a high school graduation gift, actually. Giant wok. Oh, baby. Anyway, so I'm gonna have this going on. Basically, the main idea is to have my chicken, or you could do pork, in this thing, golden brown. Then you take it out for a little bit, put the vegetable fruit mixture that I've got already going with the rest of the stuff, the ketchup and the sugar and the vinegar and all that. This thing's gonna brown real nice. All these chunks are gonna be together, and then mix up everything. Okay, I think that is okay. It's not as crispy of a texture as I was hoping, because I don't think I had enough egg yolk, because it only accounted for like a pound of pork. But, you know, it is what it is. Now, that's good. I'm glad it adds a little bit of salt to that. That'll add a little extra flavor. Now, a little bit more oil. I'm gonna add. Yeah, because some of my batter is sticking, and that's part of my problem. It'll still be really good. It's not gonna be perfectly gourmet, but I'm cooking my family, so. Now, let's get my fruit mixture, my carrots, and all that other good stuff. Ooh, that sounds good. Actually smells pretty good, too. Alright. Sauce is reducing. Get that back in there. My only complaint about this is the carrots I don't think are soft enough. So I think maybe instead of throwing all the vegetables together, to have the carrots cook for a little bit beforehand. And, you know, part of this is user error. I know I'm not the best home cook. I know there's some things I gotta learn and get better at, but, you know, that's part of my YouTube journey. I want to be able to experiment with new dishes, even if I don't have the complete forte and knowledge of how to do that. And nevertheless, I still think this is going to be good. I'm going to give a little grace to Kenny Rogers just because of user error, so I'll give him a +1 automatically because of that. You know, I don't think this is going to be a 6 out of 5, you know, mind you, but, you know, I think this has got some good potential right here. It just, like I said, this is partly user error, so this does not look perfect. Definitely not authentic, based on part of my mistake, but also partly just... I think they do it a little differently when they do traditional sweet and sour chicken, but nevertheless, let's give this a go. I got the Instant Pot rice all taken care of. Let's take a look at this. Having a hard time. Okay, here we go. You know, in spite of my mistakes, I still think this tastes good. You know, the pineapple tastes really good with it. Nice sweet flavor. Carrot is slightly undercooked, but I give that to my credit more than anything else. But chicken is very tender. I like the way that goes. You know, giving a little grace. I'm gonna give this a +1 for my user error, but overall I'd say it would normally be a 3 out of 5 because I feel like it could be a little better, but could be a lot worse. But I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. So that's my attempt of making Kenny Rogers sweet and sour chicken. Sweet and sour pork in the cookbook technically, but I made it with chicken. So thank y'all for watching.